Hey guys. All right, looking at Khan Academy Lesson 2. When you click this link, here's what we should see. Well, actually, it'll take you to this video, right? So this is features of a circle from its standard equation. So this is the type of equation that we were really looking at more in the GeoGebra activities. So if this is the equation of the circle, hopefully we saw in the GeoGebra activities that we have h and k coming from these values right here. Now, we also hopefully saw in the GeoGebra activity or in the video here that these signs are opposite of the signs that are actually on those coordinates. So for example, when it says x plus 4, that tells me that h is negative 4, and when it says y minus 6, that tells me that k is 6. So the center, hk, is at negative 4, positive 6. So then hopefully we're seeing that the radius is directly related to this number right here. Now, the radius is always going to be the square root of this number. So this says, what's the radius? If necessary, round your answer to 2 decimal places. You can use this calculator, or you can use that app for Chrome. Let's clear the old work. Okay, so then we have the square root of 48 rounded to 2 decimal places. Let's see, that's going to be 6.93. Okay, so we have a radius that's approximately 6.93 units. Okay, so then we will come and check. We got it. All right. Okay, we'll do one more and then we'll look at something different. So if we have x minus 5.2, that tells me that our h value is positive 5.2. If we have y plus 3.7, that tells me that k is negative 3.7, because these signs are always opposite from the actual point. And then what's the radius? Well, that would be the square root of this number. The square root of 49 is exactly 7, so we don't have to worry about rounding it to its decimal places. Okay. All right, so then you'd answer your 4 questions like this. The next video is on graphing a circle from its standard equation. So if we can tell what the center is and we can tell what the radius is based on the equation, well, we can plot that on a graph, right? We did that in the very first Khan Academy exercises. All right, so this says graph the circle, x minus 1 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 81. So I can see that h is going to be positive 1 and k is also going to be positive 1. So I'm going to center my circle at 1, 1. Okay. And then we know that r is always the square root of this number. The square root of 81 means that my radius is 9. All right. So then I'm going to take the center, 1, 1. And then I can take the radius, which right now it's set at 1, and I'm just going to drag this out until we get to a radius of 9. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. All right, there's my circle. Got it. All right, this question's very similar. I'm not going to walk through this one with you. You would do 4 like this, and then look at writing the equation of the circle. Okay, so writing the standard equation of the circle. We looked at 2 equations in the GeoGebra. This one is the standard equation. Okay, that's just like the equation that you were looking at right here, and just like the equation that you were looking at right here. All right, so they tell us that it has a radius of 5/3 units, and it gives us the center, and it asks us to write the equation. Okay, so if this is the center, I know the center is h, k, and the radius is 5/3. All right, so I'm going to put in parentheses x minus 9.2, close my parentheses, and then I'm going to square it, plus parentheses y minus a negative makes it plus 7.4 squared equals, okay, so if the radius is 5/3, remember that what goes in our equation is the radius squared. So I'm going to take 5/3 in my calculator here, and I'm going to square it. All right, and that is a repeating decimal. It does not say to round anywhere on here, so next I'm going to do math, enter, enter, and I got 25/9. Oh, hey, couldn't I just do 5 squared is 25 and 3 squared is 9? So even if I don't have this calculator, I'm really just squaring the top and the bottom here. So we're going to make this equal to 25/9. Okay. All right, let's check. Got it. We will maybe try one more. Okay, so this one says to write the equation of the circle that is graphed below. So they've got the center picked out, and there's a point here that's on the circle. The center is at 2, -5. So I have my HK, 2, -5. Now the other thing I need in my equation is my radius, right? And they didn't come out right out and tell me what the radius was, but remember from one of the previous examples, we know the radius is just the distance between those 2 points. So distance formula, Pythagorean theorem. I'm going to make this into a right triangle. My right triangle, it's a really bad right triangle. My right triangle has legs that are 1 and 2. That's a terrible 2. Okay, so we're going to do 1 squared plus 2 squared. That's going to give me 5. Okay, so the radius is the square root of 5, right? Well, if the radius is the square root of 5, and I'm not going to put that irrational number there, I'm going to leave it square root of 5. We want it to be as exact as possible. In my equation, remember, I'm not using the radius. I'm using the radius squared. So if I do the square root of 5 and then I square it, I get 5. Okay, so that means that I have h is 2, k is -5, and what I'm plugging into my equation is 5. All right, so I had squared plus y 5 squared equals 5. Okay, let's check. All right, and we got it.